Before we start our class today, we will chant the prayers. What you see in the screen, let your mic be in mute. I will chant the prayers. You can chant also. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighna Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. You will see the prayer written in Devanagari script, and also the same prayer is given in the transliteration form also. So if you don't know Samskritam, you can take the help of the transliteration and practice. We will be learning Devanagari script also. So till then you can take the support of transliteration. Now this small prayer, the sloka, is on Mahaganapati Vigneshwara. I will explain the meaning of the sloka. I will explain the meaning of all the prayers which we are going to chant every class, before the beginning of every class. And this is a small prayer on Mahaganapati Vigneshwara. Vigneshwara is Vignanam Ishvaraha. He is a lord of obstacles. He is a lord of pratibandha, obstacles. Not only Vigneshwara is the lord of obstacles, he is also the remover of obstacles. Vigna Nivartaka. Vigneshwara doesn't give you obstacles. Whatever task you have been undertaken, Vigneshwara doesn't give you obstacles. All the obstacles which come in our way is because of our own action. Whereas Vigneshwara, what he does is, he removes the obstacles. He removes the obstacles when he listens to our prayer. That is why we pray before we take up any task. Therefore, by offering our namaskara, salutations to Vigneshwara, we pray to Vigneshwara to clear all the obstacles in our study of Sanskritam. The meaning of this sloka is very simple. Vakratunda. Tunda means trunk. The trunk of Vinayaka, Mahaganapati, whose form is that of an elephant, it is bent. The trunk is bent, curved. So addressing Mahaganapati, He Vakratunda. Mahakaya. Mahakaya means, Maha means big, huge. Kaya means Shariram. So Mahakaya means the one with the huge Shariram, body. Mahakaya. Surya Koti. Surya means sun. Koti means crore, 10 million. 10 million is Koti. Surya Koti Samaprabha. Prabha means effulgence, the brilliance. Surya Koti Samaprabha means the one who has the effulgence of 10 million suns. To that Vinayaka, He Deva, Mama Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Nirvignam Kuru. O Lord, make all my undertakings obstacles free. Let there be no obstacles in my undertaking. Me, Mama Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Nirvignam Kuru. Nirvignam, Vignam Nivartayatu. Iti Prarthayama. That is a prayer. So this is first shloka we will chant. And we have seen the meaning of the prayer also. Now the next shloka, it is on Saraswati. Saraswati namastubhyam varade kamarupini vidya arambham karishyami siddhir bhavatu me sada. This is another shloka, simple shloka, supposed to have been written by Agastya Muni. So this is a prayer on Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge, learning. So we offer our prayers to Saraswati. Hey Saraswati, Namaha, Tubhyam Namaha, my namaskara to you. Hey Varade, Varade is Varam Dadati, the one who gives boon. The boon what you ask for, she gives. Pleasantly she gives. Kama Rupini, the one who has a pleasing form. And what is the boon you are asking? Now we have taken up the task of studying Sanskritam. So therefore the boon should be gaining knowledge of Sanskritam. So we are asking, Hey Saraswati, Varade, Agam Vidyarambam Karishyami. I am going to start my study. Sada Siddhihi Bhavatu Me. Always may I get success in my undertaking. Siddhihi Bhavatu, success. So that is the meaning of this prayer. Some of you may know the meaning of the prayer. Some of you may not know. For the sake of everyone, I am explaining the meaning of this prayer also. After Ganapati Prarthana and Saraswati Prarthana, then we will recite this next shloka, which is on the Guru. I will chant. You can repeat. Put your mic in mute. Saṃskṛtam Dayanandam Paramarthasvarupinam Tattvajnana Prashastaram Pranatosmi Padam Padam. This is another shloka, simple shloka on Guru Namaskara. Saṃskṛtam, by whom the Atma, to whom the Atma has become self-evident. Saṃskṛtam. And he is also Dayanandam. Daya means compassion. Ananda is happiness. So he is the embodiment of compassion. Who is that? Guru. Paramartha Svarupinam. Paramartha means Parama Purushartha, Moksha Purushartha. That is Paramartha. Svarupinam, the form, the nature. The one who has the form, the nature of the ultimate, the Purushartha, the reality, which is Moksha. So he is Saṃskṛtam, he is Dayanandam, he is Paramartha Svarupinam, who Mama Guru, my Guru. Not only that, he is Tattvajnana Prashastaram. Tattvajnana means one who teaches. Tattvajnana means knowledge of reality. Prashastaram means one who teaches. Tattva is the reality. Jnanam, knowledge. Tattvajnanam, the knowledge of reality. Prashastaram, Prashastri, Prakarshena Shasti. It means the one who teaches the subject matter totally, completely. It gives the vision of the subject matter totally to the Shishya. That is Prashastaram. Tattvajnana Prashastaram. Aham Pranataha Asmi. I offer my salutations. Param Padam. Param Padam is the ultimate abode. Is Padam. Or it can be taken as a feet. So His feet is the ultimate padam. So Saṃskṛtam Dayanandam Paramartha Swarupinam Tattvajnana Prashastaram Pranatosmi Param Padam. I offer my salutations to the Param Padam, to the feet which is Param. This is a shloka on my Guru is Swami Dayananda Saraswathi. So you can see the word Dayanandam is there. So addressing Dayananda as Sakshatkrita, Dayananda, Paramartha Swarupinam. So the three words are there, the three names are there, Sakshatkrita, Dayananda, Paramartha. All the three words addressing the Swamiji, Dayananda Saraswati. That is how this shloka is there. And the another way of looking at this shloka is Sakshatkritam is the Acharya, my Acharya. And Dayanandam is the Guru who taught. And Paramartha is another Acharya, Paramarthanandaji. So all these three are addressed. You can take it in that way. Or the Guru, Swamiji, is addressed with these names. That also can be taken. This shloka was written by me. So I always use this shloka as Guru Prarthana in all my classes. So this is the meaning of this shloka. Then we will chant the next shloka. Vagar, it is not Vagartha, that is a mistake. Vagartha diva sampriktau, Vagartha pratipattaye, Jagatah pitaro vande, Parvati parameshwaro. The screen you can see Vagartha diva, it is not Vaga, not the long A is not there, it is Vagartha diva sampriktau. Vagartha pratipattaye. Vak, artha. Vak means speech. Artha is the meaning. One minute. Please mute your mic. Whoever joined the meeting now, they can keep the mic mute. Thank you. Vak is speech or the word. As the word and the meaning are so interconnected, and to understand the meaning of the word, to gain the knowledge of the meaning of the word, Vagartha Pratipattaye, I offer my salutations to Jagatah Pitarau. Who is the Jagatah Pitarau? Who is the parent of this Jagat, the world? Parvati Parameshwara. So I offer my salutations to Parvati and Parameshwara. This is a shloka written by Kalidasa. In fact, this shloka has the essence of Vedanta also. It's a beautiful shloka. So this also we will chant before every class. Then the next shloka. Enakshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat krishnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha. This is a shloka on Panini Maharishi. Panini is a great grammarian whose grammar only is left out now. So we offer our namaskara to Panini Maharishi. The meaning of the shloka we will see later, because certain terms have to be explained, that we will see in the right context. So this also you can include in our daily prayer. The next shloka now. Vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim Paninim Sutrakaram Cha Pranatosmi Munitrayam. In this shloka, you will find the names of 3 rishis. Vararuchi. Vararuchi is the name of a rishi. Patanjali is another name. Panini is another name. Vakyakaram Vararuchim. Vararuchi is the Vartikakara. He has written Vartika on the Sutra Pata of Panini Maharishi. Therefore, Panini is the Sutrakara. He is the creator of Sutra. Sutra Pata. There is a separate Grantha book is available. It is on Saṃskṛta Vyakaranam, grammar. That was written by Panini Maharishi. To that Vyakaranam, Vararuchi as he had written a Vartika. So, Panini Maharishi and Vararuchi and Patanjali. Patanjali is one who has written Bhashya, commentary on the Sutra Pata, on the Panini Sutra. He has written a commentary. And the Bhashya, that is why Patanjali Maharishi is called Bhashyakara, the one who has written a commentary on the sutras of the Panini Maharishi is Patanjali and is Bhashyakara. So, we are addressing Patanjali as Bhashyakara, a Bhashyakara. And we are addressing Vararuchi as a Vakyakara. And Panini is the Sutrakara. So, the 3 Maharishis, Munitrayam, Agam Pranataha Asmi. I offer my Namaskara to the 3 Maharishis. This is the another prayer. After this, we will chant the Sahana Bhavatu prayer. And before that, then the next prayer is Sahana Bhavatu prayer. This is a mantra. This is a Vedic mantra. All the text of the Vedas, they are all mantras. Anything other than Veda, non-Vedic, they are called shloka. Shlokas were written by some person, whereas the Vedic prayers, they are not written by any particular person. Therefore, it is Apaurushaya. Therefore, this is called a mantra. This is a simple prayer. This prayer has got swara. If you know the swara, the intonation, then you can chant. Otherwise, also you can listen to me and repeat. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. This is the Shanti Pata. The Pata which is for Shanti, which is for making our undertaking successful, obstacles free. This is a prayer chanted by both the teacher and the student. Sahana Avatu. Saha Now Avatu. Me Bhagavan Ishvara Now Avatu. Now means two. Who are those two? The teacher and the student. May Bhagavan Ishvara protect the teacher and the student. Sahanau Bhunaktu. May Bhagavan nourish in terms of knowledge both the teacher and the student. The nourishment of buddhi of both the teacher and the student. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Let the teacher and the student put effort, work together. For what? For the teacher, the effort is to communicate, and for the student is the effort to learn, to grasp understand and learn. So may the teacher be endowed with the ability to communicate. May the student be endowed with the power of understanding and learning. Sakaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvina vadhitamastu. Tejasvini aditam. Tejasvinau aditam astu. Let us understand what we study. Mavid vishavahai. Let us not dislike. Let us not dislike each other. They will not mutually dislike each other. Let there be total understanding between the teacher and the student so that the knowledge flows properly without any obstacles, either on the side of the teacher or on the side of the student. So this is the meaning, and this prayer is chanted by both the teacher and the student at the beginning of every class. And finally, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We offer Shanti to the three types of obstacles which come either from inside or from outside or from unseen sources. So to all the obstacles we offer, to all the three obstacles we offer our three Shanti. So this is the meaning of this mantra. So after chanting all the prayers, every class, then we will get into the class. Now I welcome all of you to our first class of Sanskrit. Before we start, I'll give you a few instructions which already I have told many times, but still, please keep your mic in mute always and your video be switched off. It is better to use headphone so that the external noise will not disturb the class. And the switching of your video will not disturb the transmission from my side. I can share my video on my desktop and you can hear my voice. So there will not be any problem if the video is switched off on your side. And another important thing is when you listen to the class, you be available only for the class. Please don't do multitasking. Parallelly, you don't do any other activity. To derive full benefit from the class, you have to be present totally for 50-55 minutes. So spend your time only in listening to the class, and also you can take notes of the class. It is better to keep a scribbling pad and a pen with you always. You can take notes, and I will also be sending materials to you through WhatsApp, so that also you can download and practice. And if you have any doubts during the class, you can always unmute the mic, one person at a time, and you can tell the name and ask me, and I will answer your doubts. And today, being our first class, I will start with the assumption that you are all new to Sanskrit. You don't know even Devanagari script. That will be my assumption. If you already know Devanagari script, then there is no problem. You can relearn. You can clarify certain things if you have any doubts. Otherwise, you can wait. You can wait for the next class or subsequent classes. You can wait to come. For the sake of others who are totally new to the language, I will start from the Devanagari script because some of you may not be knowing the script. So with that assumption, I will start from the Devanagari script. A few classes we will be learning Devanagari script. Then slowly we will get into the language and the grammar. Before we start our Devanagari script, we will have a small introduction to the language. Sanskrit is one of the old languages spoken by the people of Bharatavarsha. Bharata is not the current India. The Bharatavarsha is, well, the boundary was far, far more than what it is now. So it was a language of the people of Bharatavarsha. Not only Bharata, in other parts, also it seems it was spoken. And it was a native language of the Vedic people. Once upon a time, it was a spoken language. Our forefathers were speaking some Sanskrit, but we have lost connection with the language and the culture and the tradition. And now we can establish the connection. How? By learning the language. And it is also high time to do it. The language can be learned now. The language can be brought to life now. It is possible. What happened to the language Sanskrit in the past few 100 years? What happened to that? If you see the history, Indian history, our culture and the tradition and the language, they were attacked and subject to the onslaught of many foreign invasions, particularly the Mughals and the British people. The Mughals, they ruled India for more than 800 years, and the British for 200 years. So they have done enough damage to the culture and the language, the tradition. But in spite of the effort to damage the culture and the language, Sanskrit still survives. That is amazing, and it shows that nobody can destroy it. The very interest to learn Sanskrit is growing faster among the people now, and you are all showing interest to learn Sanskrit. That itself shows that Sanskrit will live. It will revive now. If you see, it is 5:30 in India. Now it is 6:30. And you all have got up and logged into the computer. That itself shows there is an interest in learning the language, and the language will come to glory as before. So therefore, I should appreciate this and the commitment for learning. And I pray to Bhagavan that the enthusiasm what you have should. With this, we'll get into the introduction. And again, I welcome you all. Punaga Swagatam. And you can see the slide. Proto-Indo-European languages. I'll explain what it is. Sanskrit belongs to the group of languages called Proto-Indo-European language. Not only Sanskrit, there are other languages like Latin, Greek. They are also part of Proto-Indo-European languages. PIE. PIE stands for Proto-Indo-European language. This PIE, it is considered to be the common ancestor of many Indo-European languages. It is a theory. This PIE is a theory. It is an hypothetical theory which was developed during the 19th century. According to this theory, by comparing the most ancient languages like Sanskrit, Latin, Greek, and other languages, the parent language can be reconstructed. The parent language can be traced back from the languages which were descended from it. So from the descended language, the parent language can be reconstructed. The reconstruction of the parent language is called Proto-Indo-European model. And this linguistic reconstruction, it provides insight into the culture, the religion, the tradition, and the developments, both scientific and spiritual, of the native speakers of the language. And there are many daughter language of PIE, the offspring of PIE, like Spanish, Persian, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and many Indian languages like Hindi, Urdu, Marathi, Bengali. They're all considered to be the offspring of PIE. So that shows that Sanskrit is the mother of many Indian and European languages. That is why we call Sanskrit as Matru, Janayatri Vasha, is the mother of all languages, we say. And we use the word Sanskrit. You can see Sanskrit is a word we use. But is it correct to use the word Sanskrit? Really speaking, it is not Sanskrit. Sanskrit is it's an English word. The correct word for that will be Saṃskṛtam. So we will use the word Saṃskṛtam, not Sanskrit. In fact, I use always the word Saṃskṛtam. If the listener doesn't know or not familiar with Saṃskṛtam, for only that to make him familiar, I'll use the word Sanskrit, and slowly I will drift to Saṃskṛtam, from Sanskrit to Saṃskṛtam. So we will be using the word Saṃskṛtam to indicate the language, not Sanskrit. So you also always refer the language as Saṃskṛtam. There is nothing wrong with the word Sanskrit, but it is an anglicized word. The right word should be Saṃskṛtam. So therefore, from the first class onwards, we will use the word Saṃskṛtam. And here you can see the word Saṃskṛtam in transliterated form. This transliteration, what you see, it is based on a standard called International Alphabet of Sanskrit Transliteration, IAST. There is another international standard for romanization. It was published in the year 2001, that is ISO 15919, which deals with the transliteration of Devanagari and related Indic scripts into Latin characters. And this standard, it uses diacritical marks to map the consonants and the vowels and the consonant-vowel combinations of the language to Latin script. Vowels in Brahmic script to Latin script. The Brahmic script is older than Devanagari script. So this standard, it uses to map the alphabets of the language in Brahmic script to Latin script. And Brahmic script is very older than Devanagari script, and Saṃskṛtam uses Devanagari script. Saṃskṛtam uses Devanagari script, which is one of the Brahmic family of scripts. And with the Devanagari script, we can represent the sound in the form of vowels, consonants, and their combinations. In the beginning of the class, we saw the prayers. The prayers were in both Saṃskṛtam as well as in the transliteration. The transliteration version of the Devanagari script, that is based on the standard. So we will take the support. We can take the support of transliteration in the beginning, and when we are familiar with the Devanagari script, then we will drop transliteration. The reason is we should learn the language in the script of So in the beginning we will take the support of transliteration for the sake of many people who are totally new to Sanskritam, and later we will drop it. We will use only Devanagari script. Then Sanskritam is a living language. It is not a dead language. As you find in the Google, Sanskritam is a dead language. No, it is not a dead language. A language cannot be dead, really speaking. And Sanskritam has its base in Vedas. And Vedas are the prana, is the very breath of Ishvara, Bhagavan. And Vedas are not subject to destruction. If Vedas cannot be destroyed, then how can Sanskritam have destruction? Maybe we have stopped speaking in Sanskritam. It doesn't mean the language is dead. It cannot be made dead. It lives. It lives forever. That is why the letters of the language are called Aksharam. Sanskritam is nothing but a sound. The sound cannot be destroyed. And the sound which is represented in the form of letters, they are called Aksharam. Aksharam cannot be destroyed. And Sanskritam has its root in Vedas. Therefore, it cannot be destroyed. In fact, the language is still spoken in some parts of India. It is still studied in schools and colleges. It is now even available for communication in some parts of India. And in fact, this Sanskrit is the second official language of Jharkhand. So therefore, it all shows that Sanskritam is worth studying. And if you want to study Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads and the Vedantic texts, then we must know Sanskritam. Without Sanskritam, our study of the scriptures will not be complete. We will not be able to get the right vision. So therefore, it is worth pursuing Sanskritam. If anybody says language is difficult, it is not so. Only our mindset makes learning the language difficult. Language as such is not difficult. Anything new, if you want to learn, it will be difficult in the beginning. But when you put more effort, when you dedicate more time to learn, then you learn and you enjoy the learning also. And the language Samskritam, it means Samyak Kritam. It is Samyak, well defined, well refined, perfected. Kritam, done. It is well done. Its grammar, its pronunciation, the structure, everything is well defined. Therefore, the word Sanskritam itself means it is highly structured and systematic language. And Sanskritam is also known as Deva or Devavani. There are so many names are there. Bharati, Surabharati, Amarabharati, Amaravani, Girvani, Devavani. There are so many names for the language. Devavani, it means the language of the gods. Samskritam nama Devi Vak Anvakhyata Magarshibhi. Dandit, a great poet, he says, it is a Devi Vak, it is a Deva Bhasha. Therefore, Samyak Kritam, well defined, refined the language, and which is the oldest, the most systematic language in the world. And when you learn the language, you will appreciate the vastness and the power of expression of the language. And in Sanskritam, for example, you can denote the object, the water, by 67 words. There are 67 words for water. There are more than 250 words to describe rain. So it has so many words to denote one object. There is a grantha called Amarakosha which lists out all the synonyms in the form of a sloka. So that shows the vastness of the language. It has so many words to denote one object. And every word, if you can go to the etymology and see through the meaning, see through the word, the meaning of the word. Therefore, the language is highly structured. Since the language is highly structured, then you can imagine the culture and the lifestyle of the people who spoke that language at that time. It is said that the language was developed in the Indus Saraswathi civilization. When the civilization was rich in the cultural and spiritual developments and during the Vedic tradition. So that time the language was it ultimate. It was ultimate, and people were speaking that language. And this Saṃskṛtam, the language, it didn't have any script in the beginning. The language as such didn't have any script. And if you take the Vedas which is the mantra, the rituals, and the knowledge of the reality which the Vedanta deals with, all these all these were verbally transferred from one generation to the other generation. They're all in Saṃskṛtam, and Saṃskṛtam did not have its script. In spite of not putting in writing, all these were transferred to the successive generation only orally. So it was a verbal tradition, karana parampara. By listening to it repeatedly, the students learn, and when they teach others, they make others repeat. So that is how the whole Vedas, all the 4 Vedas were transferred from generation to generation. And Veda means, it's a voluminous thing. The Karmakanda portion of the Veda is a huge voluminous thing. And Vedanta, the last portion, that also. So both these were transferred from one generation to the another generation, and each family, they preserved a particular Veda. That is how even now we have some Vedas well preserved and protected. And later, when writing came into existence, Saṃskṛtam, it was put it in the form of a writing using Devanagari script. And Devanagari is a script which Saṃskṛtam uses to represent the sound in the form of writing. So Devanagari script is one of the Brahmic family of script. Old Brahmic family of script is the oldest writing system, and Devanagari is one of them. And this Devanagari script, it is used by more than 120 languages. The most adopted writing system is Devanagari. Many of the Indian languages like the Marathi, Kashmiri, Hindi, Konkani, and Rajasthani, Bhojpuri, Awadhi, and Sanskrit, Sindhi, they all use Devanagari script. And the Saṃskṛtam, it has been written in Devanagari script and also in other script like Bengali, Gujarati, even Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and many other South Indian scripts. So that Saṃskṛtam can be written in that script. But better to learn Devanagari script and read Saṃskṛtam, because we find many of the texts in Devanagari script. And many of the Indian languages, though it has the sound of the Saṃskṛtam, but still better to learn Devanagari script and study Saṃskṛtam. Not all the languages has the flexibility and the, the sound to accommodate Devanagari. If you take Tamil, the language is flexible, but not to put the Saṃskṛtam in Tamil. So for example, if you chant Vishnu Sahasranamam or Lalita Sahasranamam using Tamil script, there will be a lot of mistakes. Similarly, if you chant that in Malayalam, it will have the Malayali accent will be there. In Bengali accent will be there. The script can be used, but the sound, what about the sound? Therefore, better to learn the Devanagari script and the correct pronunciation of the Devanagari. Therefore, we will learn Devanagari script and also we will learn how to pronounce each letter. So that we will be seeing, we will be starting today. And before that, why Saṃskṛtam should be studied? The sound of the language, the grammar part, which was developed by many rishis. In fact, Saṃskṛtam had 9 grammar system. We have lost some of them, many of them now. Only Panini grammar system is available now. That itself shows the structure of the language, how systematic the language is, well designed the language is. So therefore, Saṃskṛtam is a systematic, well-structured language. So when you study the language, it naturally makes the mind of the person also to think systematically. It creates the orderliness. It disciplines your thinking. That is the second reason why Saṃskṛtam should be studied. There can be many more reasons. I'm just pointing out some of the reasons which will substantiate our effort to learn Saṃskṛtam. And we have a huge literature in Saṃskṛtam. If you take any field, science or art or music, mathematics, astronomy, sculpture, philosophy, drama, poetry, we have a huge literature. We have Mahabharata. Mahabharata has 1 lakh verses. Mahabharata. It is a huge epic by Veda Vyasa. And Ramayana, the famous Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, it has 24,000 verses. Gayatri Mantra also has 24 letters, and this also has 24,000 verses. It was written by Valmiki. So the 2 great epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. And we have Sutra literature. Sutra means to put the information in a condensed form. That is called Sutra. We have many Sutra literature in Saṃskṛtam, like Ashtadhyayi, that is Panini's Sutra Pata. And we have Brahma Sutra, Yoga Sutra, Nyaya Sutra. There are so many Sutra literatures available. And there are many classical poetry works like Raghuvamsha by Kalidasa, Shakuntala, that also by Kalidasa, Tirarthajuniya, that is by Bhairavi. So many classical works are available. And many Puranic literatures, all the 18 Puranas, which were supposed to be written by Vyasa Maharishi. All the 18 Puranas and the Vedanga, Shiksha, Kalpa, Niruttam, Vyakaranam, Chandas, Jyotisham, all these are considered to be the Vedangas. We have literature on this also. So, we have a huge literature and we don't have enough lifetime to study them. So that itself shows how developed the language was. But our effort will be to learn the Saṃskṛtam so that to that extent, so that we will be comfortable in reading Gita, Upanishads, and also we will be able to converse in Saṃskṛtam. Definitely it will help in studying the scriptures, and it will help our spiritual growth. There is no doubt about it. And we must develop the ability to think and speak in Sanskritam. That will be the prayojanam of studying Sanskrit. And the next point is, there is a clear proof for Sanskritam being the mother of many languages, many modern languages. If you can trace back to Sanskritam, you can trace back to Sanskritam from the words of the modern languages. Say, for example, if you take English. In English, the word name, the name is there. The equivalent word in Sanskritam was nama. From the word nama, from the Sanskritam word nama, the word name has come. So nama is the original form that has become name in English. Similarly, go becomes cow. Sarpa becomes serpent. Danta, it becomes teeth. Pancha, 5. Tat becomes that. That seems to be same. That and that. There is no big difference. Sama, same. Samatvam. Sapta, 7. Ashta, 8. Nava, 9. And matar becomes mother. Bratar becomes brother. There are so many words that you can trace back to Sanskrit. And the next point is, the language has an excellent science of phonetics. It is highly structured in terms of pronunciation. The sound produced by your mouth, the tongue which touches at different parts of the mouth and produces sound. And the sound is represented in the form of a Devanagari script. And the sound which produces when the tongue touches different parts of the mouth, that way of pronunciation of the sound, for that we have a separate shastram, shiksha shastram. It is not just imitation of the sound. It is by touching the different parts of the mouth with your tongue, that sound will be produced. So it has an excellent science behind the pronunciation of the sound. Our ancient rishis, they have all observed this, and they have formed a beautiful phonetic system. We'll be seeing some of that when we learn Devanagari script. That will help you how to pronounce the Samskrita Akshara. Therefore, the language has got the science behind the phonetics. And another thing is, the language is highly flexible. The language has a flexibility to coin different words, to coin appropriate words for modern scientific inventions and discoveries. That is another beauty of the language. You can coin any word for anything newly discovered. We have word for computer, we have word for mobile phone, we have word for internet, web, even many software terminologies, we have Samskritam word. So the language is more flexible. With just 2000 verbal roots, we can form n number of words. You can form from one verbal root, you can form so many words. So that itself shows how flexible the language is. And the flexibility of the language itself provides vastness of the language. So you can take a word and go down to the etymological derivation of it, and you can see the meaning of the word. So that is another beauty of this the language. And many people nowadays feel Sanskritam is the best option for software programming. So therefore, when we understand the beauty, the richness, the charisma, and the vastness of the language, definitely we will appreciate the language and will put our best effort to learn it. So with this small introduction to Sanskritam, we will get into the Devanagari script. Devanagari script. It has another name. It is called Varna Mala. Varna Mala, it denotes the syllables of the Sanskritam. If you see the screen, Varna Mala, it is written, you can see. Varna means letter. The letters of the language are called Varna. Mala means garland. So, Varna Mala means the language which has letters as its garland. That is called Varna Mala. The language is decorated by the Varna, the letters, the sound of the language. That is called Varna Mala. So Devanagari script can also be called Varna Mala with reference to Sanskritam. And if you see the etymology of the word Varna, which means letter, Varnyate Preryate iti Varnaha. Every word, there is an opinion that there is an etymological derivation. There may be some words which is Rudi, which is the meaning of that word is cannot be derived. That is one paksha, one opinion is there. There is another opinion that every word, every Sanskrita word can be etymologically derived. So this word Varna can be etymologically derived. It means Varnyate Priyatyate iti Varnaha. It means the sound which is impelled, which is forced out from the vocal organs. That is called Varna. The sound which is forced out from the vocal organs, that is called Varna, and it is represented in the form of a Devanagari script, and that becomes a Mala for the language. That is called Varna Mala. And as I said before, Sanskritam, it uses Devanagari script, and it is called Varna Mala. There is another name for Varna Mala, which is Akshara Mala. Akshara means that which cannot be destroyed. That is Aksharam. Kshara means that which can be destroyed. Akshara, that which cannot be destroyed. So the sound of the language is called Aksharam. Why? Because it cannot be destroyed. It is there in the creation. It is there in the creation since the beginning of the creation. Therefore, it cannot be destroyed. Even after Pralaya, when the creation goes back to the source, the sound may become unmanifest, but it doesn't mean it is not there. So, therefore, the Varnamala, the letters, the sound and the letters of the language, they are called Aksharam, that which cannot be destroyed. Therefore, Varnamala is also called Akshara Mala. So, there are many names: Aksharamala, Varnamala, and Devanagari. So, Aksharam, the very word Aksharam, it refers to the sound. It refers to the sound which are available in the nature and which are naturally produced from your mouth, and that cannot be destroyed. Therefore, it is called Aksharam. Naksharati iti Aksharam. Aksharam is a singular word. Aksharani is a plural word. So, Aksharani, that also means Sanskrta syllables. That which cannot be destroyed is called Aksharam. And now this Akshara Mala, otherwise called Varna Mala, is divided into two: vowels and consonants. Vowels and consonants, they are clearly separated in the Devanagari script. So first we will study vowels and then we will study the consonants. In Sanskritam there are 13 plus 2 vowels. 13 plus 2. We will see what is that plus 2. Vowels are called Swaraha or Swaravarnaha or Achaha. In Sanskritam it is called Swaraha. Another word to denote vowels according to the Paninian grammar system is Achaha. So we will be learning how vowels are denoted by the word Achaha. Later we will be seeing that when we study Panini Mageshwara Sutra, we will see how the word Achaha denotes vowels. But now we can remember Swaraha means vowels. Swaraha, vowel. Swaraha, vowels. It's a plural form. So there are 13 plus 2 vowels. And these vowels are classified into two: simple vowels and conjunct vowels. I have given other names for simple vowels. You can note down that if you want. That simple vowels are also called monotones, or in Sanskritam Samanaswaraha or Amishra. There are other names. And the other thing is conjunct vowels. One is simple vowel, the other one is conjunct vowels or diphthongs or Sanyukta Swaraha or Mishra Swaraha. So vowels in general are classified into simple vowels and conjunct vowels. So first we will be saying simple vowels. We have seen that the language has 13 plus 2. Plus 2 we will see later. So let us take only 13. The language has 13 vowels. Among the 13 vowels, the 9 vowels are simple vowels. So the first vowel of the language is A. You can see in the screen. The first letter is A. And the second letter is the elongated form of A. It becomes A. 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 So there should be a difference in terms of stretching the sound. A is short, A is long. If you observe closely, the sound comes from the throat. The sound comes from the throat. You can't just open your mouth and expel air and say ha. No, it is A. A. At the base of the throat, your tongue and the throat in contact, and the sound is produced. A. A. The next set of vowel, E. E is short. Time duration is short compared to the next one, which is long. E. You have to stretch it. So E. E. And this sound comes from the palate. The tongue touches the palate. E. E. Need not touch the palate. There may be gap between the palate and the tongue. But that is the source of sound. This sound, palatal sound. E. E. The next one is U. U. The short form is U. The long form, U. So this U From where does the sound come? U sound. It comes from the lip. You have to round your lips and say U. Ooh. Without rounding your lips, the sound cannot come. You try, you just open your mouth and say, widely open your mouth and say ooh, it won't come. You have to, the teeth, the lip has to join and make a round. Ooh. You have to round your lips. Without the support of lips, you can't pronounce this sound. Therefore, this sound is called labial. We'll be seeing it. We'll be seeing it later. Ooh, ooh. The next one is r. It is r, short form. R. Like the word rishi, ritu, rishyashanga, rinam. So all these words have the sound r. It is not re. Some people they pronounce it re. Probably in some parts of North India they pronounce it as re, but it is r only. R, short form r. The long form is r. So r, r. And the next one is l. It is l. This sound comes when the tongue touches the just above the upper teeth. L. This is considered to be the vowel in Sanskrit. We have lakara, la, la, li, li. Also, it is there. There also l will come. That is different. That you will understand when you study the phonetic system. But here, this l is considered to be the vowel. The sound comes from the teeth, but the tongue touches just above the upper teeth, and the sound comes. Therefore, it is called dental. So these are the 9 simple vowels: a, I, u, r, l. And I will show you how to write this. You can see in the screen how a is written. A is simple. You write 3 and you write T, then you join both. That is how a is written. This is a. And what about a? You write a and put a vertical stroke next to it. It becomes a, long form of a. And the next one is E. E is simple. It's just like writing S. This is E, short form. And the long form is E. E will have a stroke at the top. The crown will be there. That is E. Next one, U. U is like a 3. Just write 3 and put a horizontal stroke at the top. That is U. And U is, there is something like a crown. A stroke is there at the 3. That is U. The next one is Ru. You can see how to write. If you have any doubt in writing this Ru, you let me know. I'll send through WhatsApp how to write Ru. Because I have seen some people write Ru differently. Even the people who know Samskrtam, if you ask them to write how it is actually written, they find difficult to tell, saying. So I'll tell you how to write. If you know, it is fine. Otherwise, if you don't know, you let me know. I'll tell how to write Ru. This is Ru. The long form of Ru is Ru. That is Ru. The next one is, this also looks like the 3 with a stroke at the bottom. This is L. So these are the 9 simple vowels. and you can see the pronunciation L. For those who are not familiar with the Indian language, in Indian language, given how the sound A is produced, how A is pronounced. A is pronounced as in cup or bus. That A sound is there. In fact, in English, we don't have the sound A. Only A is there. And A takes the sound of A or U takes the sound of A in a word. So here, cup, when you say cup, that A sound is there. So A is not the equivalent representation for A. The A sound is there in cup, bus. That A, the sound has to be heard and pronounced. A. So try to take the pronunciation help. And A is like in far, fall. That A, that long A is there. And E is pronounced as in eat, inform. The short vowel E, inform. And E, it's like a beat, that E. And U is pronounced as in book, that book, short vowel, book. U is not equivalent for U. The sound, book, that U sound is U. That is a sound in the word book for the letter U. And U is like in fool or swimming pool. That U sound is there. So these three letters, these three sound, A, E, U, they are the basic sounds. They are the basic sound from which the sound has come. It will be the combination. So these three are considered to be the basic sounds. In fact, A, E, U, these three combinations only gives the sound Om. The very word Om, it has three basic sounds. A, E, U, Akara, Ikara, Ukara. The three combinations are there in the Pranava mantra Om. Then the next letter R doesn't have any exact equivalent in English. I'm trying to give, like in crystal, the R is there. That is a sound. The last one is L. So these are the 9 simple vowels. So you can practice these vowels, and we will deal with the conjunct vowels in the next class. So we will stop our class today with this, and at the end of the class we will be chanting another Shanti mantra, Purnavadaha. The meaning of this mantra I'll tell you later. Now we can chant this mantra and conclude the class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharanji.
If you have any doubts,
Thank you, sir.